Hey, what's up? Time for another video. Yeah, again, see if I could lose some friends. I'm gonna come at you today again with a mixture of political and biblical. When I talk about the political things, I want to try to get some information out there. Because what's going on in this world is very important. Tried to get me some notes here too. Okay, the thing I've said before, times are closing down. So do we as Christians just want to get it all over with and let our country fall down to pieces faster so we can get out of here, or do we still care about our country? Now, the things I want to bring about, the political things I hit on, if I'm wrong, somebody let me know. Give me some information and not the foolish rhetoric that a lot of the media tries to give you. I looked up a few things, so I got some information. I do not mind being wrong. Many people out there are going to vote not what's right or what's wrong. They're going to vote for a party or a man, whether they like him or not understanding the repercussions. Okay, so I'm going to hit in some issues. First of all, sin is the problem, okay, and Jesus is the answer. But I want to get into some things. You know, I've said before, I vote conservative. Now, when it comes to the parties, Democrat and Republican, there was a time years ago where it wasn't the same issues. JFK, I thought he was a great president. And the Democrat and Republican Party probably went more on how they believed in how to spend money and borrow money, etc., and not the same issues. For instance, the issues for the Democratic Party have changed. What they used to say, now they say totally different. I have a problem with that. Now, what I'm going to get into is how you're going to vote. Are you going to vote because you like somebody, you don't like somebody, or you're going to vote by what the television news tells you? Okay? Well, I want to hit some issues. Number one, immigration. Okay, I know, talk about, well, unless you as a, what do I call it? I don't hate to say the word Indian. I can't say American, Native American. They immigrated. Okay, they immigrated. They haven't always been here. Okay, now, are we immigrants? Yes, we are. The question is, do we just allow anybody and everybody, no borders at all, anybody can come and go as they please, or do we want to regulate it? That's the question. Okay, the issue I have with immigration right now is, I mean, I hear what the sides say. I heard one guy the other day said, well, Trump didn't finish the wall. No, because the other party would not allow him to have the money. They didn't mind billions of dollars to bail people out who won't pay their loan back, but they had a problem with finishing a wall. Is wall the answer? Best thing I could come up with right now. So that's rhetoric right there. That's just twisting. That's a spin. Now here's the problem. Accusing a man of, oh, he hates people. Oh, he hates Spanish people, or he hates this group because he wants to keep people out. Well, let me tell you a little bit of something here. If if the border keeps running like it is now, and you support for the man that wants to leave it the way it is now, you might as well go down and hand the cartel money, because that's what's happening. The cartel is making $5 to $39 billion a year from drug and human trafficking. So you like human trafficking. You like the drugs to come into America. That's what you're saying when you support this. Say, come on in, drugs. We have let enough fentanyl to kill more Americans than what we have. So when you're allowing this, you're allowing the cartel to get money from people to build the cartel up. They're worth $500 billion now, and you're supporting cartel. That's what you're doing. No matter how you look at it, you're supporting the cartel. Now, you may say, well, then we might as well have totally open borders. You still may have an issue with the cartel. What I don't get is where they're paying the cartel $1,300 to $10,000 to help them cross the border. Why don't we just vent them through and have them pay the country, and we'll take the money and build up the country? Why do we want to support the cartel? Why? And then the next thing is with the immigration part of it. Okay, when they come in, they want to vote for the party that wants to keep these things up, that wants the cartel to build up, the same party that wants to take away our Second Amendment right. And you may argue that I could pull up statements stating that's what the whole goal is. That would make us just like the countries they're trying to escape from. In other words, if you're trying to leave Venezuela because it's a communistic and you can't protect yourself, why do you want to move somewhere to change it just like that? Answer me. I don't understand that. So I don't believe it's right to support the cartel. It doesn't make sense. Now, personally, I think cartel needs to be wiped out. Do you know, if you took the cartel's money, they got $500 billion, and distribute it among everyone that lives in Mexico, every single person would get $3,921. Maybe they wouldn't have, if the cartel was gone and they had that money, maybe it would be a better place. That's just one issue. Now, as a Christian, you say you believe in God. Do you want to support the cartel, the crimes, the gangs? The gangs also come over to America. 48% of violent crimes are created by gangs. And many of the gangs come from the cartel. So what you're saying is, I believe in God, but I support the cartel. I want them, and I want gangs, and I want this high crime rate. As a Christian, what would be the right thing to do? Would you not support the party or the person that believes that needs fixed? Both parties said this years ago. What happened? What changed? Okay, so what would a Christian do? Support cartel or support our country? Now, is there anything wrong with immigration? No. Let's just do it right. Just do it right. And to portray me as a hater because I think it ought to be done right, that's not thinking. But, I'm going to hold on to my party. I'm going to hold on to my party. I'm sorry, the parties have changed. They're not what they used to be. Yes, there's bad in both. But why would I want to support the one who supports the cartel? Now, next, abortion. People say, oh, that's a woman's right. What about that? Show me in the Bible where it's a right thing to do to take within a woman and rip a child piece by piece and throw it in the trash. Would God do that? Is that what he wants? I don't believe so. Matter of fact, I know so. You can argue all you want. That's strike 2 against one of the parties. Next, LGBTQRSTUV, whatever that is. Even both parties used to say a marriage is between a man and a woman. Now it's changed. Why do they change? For votes. If a person does that, that's their business. I can't change. It's wrong, and I don't hate them. You should not hate them, the person, but it's wrong, biblically wrong. You don't support those things. That's strike 3, already out. Now, the next thing. President Biden, I heard him say the other day, the next president will probably put in 2 Supreme Court members. Now, from my viewpoint, the only thing that's held us together is they're biased. Everybody's biased. The Supreme Court are biased to whatever party they're affiliated with. The Supreme Court is to interpret the law, and they will interpret according to the way they believe. I remember the last one that Biden put in didn't even know the difference between a man and a woman. And they're in the Supreme Court. Now, come on. That's political. But anyway, the next president will put in 2. Now, the one party has already been against the Second Amendment. And although people say, they don't want all your guns, I've heard it said, I've seen it. And then we're back like Venezuela. We have no way of protecting ourselves. Yes, there's gun violence. I wouldn't care if there wasn't a gun in the entire world. However, if the guy down the street's a criminal, he's got one, I want one. I want to protect myself. So, abortion and the Second Amendment, both right there. You know which way that'll go. Now, another issue. Now, here's the thing, back on the immigration issue. Wouldn't it be great if every one of the cartel got saved? We wouldn't have this problem. Sin is the main issue. But anyway, global warming. Okay, I'm trying to mix that in a little bit with the inflation. Why do we have inflation? Oh, the inflation's only, 2 or 3%, they say. The funny thing is, the things that are going up is not calculated into the inflation equation. Fuel and food. That's what's going up. Okay, for instance, this is how it ties with the global warming. Are we having global warming? Maybe we are. It depends on who you talk to. One scientist, depending on which bias they are, says we are. If you remember correctly, what was his name? Al Gore. We were supposed to be all underwater by now. All right. I'm not going to say there isn't issues going on the planet, but I'm not going to blame it on the cow passing gas and making people eat crickets because of it. I mean, come on. We need to deal with the planet appropriately. We need trees. Deforestation is probably not the best thing. But to be able to say, okay, we're just going to up the gas costs and make everybody go to electric cars. We need to diversify is what we need to do and figure something out in the meantime. But if the diesel fuel goes up, so does the cost of food because it costs more to ship. Come on. So those are, then the other thing is Israel, to support Israel. Now, it appears that we're supporting Israel. So as long as we're supporting Israel, that's a good thing. But I need people to really look at this. Some people, it don't matter. I don't care. I don't care what facts are shown. People are going to twist them. Do you believe God wants the cartel supported? Do you believe God would want little babies ripped apart? Do you believe that it's right for same-sex marriage? If you believe those things, I'm sorry, I'd question your salvation. I don't think that's along biblical guidelines. And if that angers you, tell me why. Why should it? Do you not want to line up with God? Does that mean that one party or another is godly? Not necessarily, but I'm going to flat out say the conservative party lines up closer to Christian values than the liberal side. It didn't used to be like that, I don't believe, but that's the way it is now. And if everything goes liberal and the Supreme Court and everything, I got to deal with it. But so does everybody who voted him in. Don't complain about it. Do you like the choices we have? We got what we got. At the same time, I believe, this is my thoughts, if we want the end times to come, I do not believe the United States will either won't be here or will be in a weakened state, a third world country, and will not be the major power they are. We may not have all the nice things we got, which would lead rise to the Antichrist kingdom. Now, as a Christian, I think, okay, let's go. Let's let it happen that way. Well, I'm a little mixed on that, but I still love my country, and I want my country to do well. I don't want to see babies killed. I don't want to see the gangs go up and the violent crimes go up. And back to immigration. If you vote for the same party to get in there, you're saying, I want more violent crimes. Hey, come on, violent crimes. Here, come on, violent crimes, you come on in, and then take my ability to defend myself away too. How's that? Think about it. And I'm not trying to necessarily be so political. I'm trying to say what's right and what makes more sense if you really think about it. And if I'm wrong, show me I'm wrong. We need God's what we really need. That's what it all boils down. I don't understand why we can go into other countries and tear up things and we allow the terrorist crime. I mean, look what we got when the cartel comes over, or there are immigrants that want to destroy our country, which I tried to tell before, I believe, about the 1991 Muslim agenda. There are people that are trying to destroy the country within. And if we don't know who's coming in, and that's, we love, and that's the right thing to do, then let them live in your house. It's that simple. The world is a different place than it used to be. Yes, my family's an immigrant. But when they come over, they didn't bring enough fentanyl to kill everybody off. This stuff needs to stop. Are you ever going to stop at all? Probably not. But boy, yeah, I believe it was 2,000 pounds of fentanyl crossed the border. More in 2 months of Joe Biden's time. These are things I looked up. In 2 months' time, I don't know where I wrote it, more fentanyl crossed under Joe Biden than a year or the entire time Trump was in. Huh. Now again, some people may state that, well, if Trump wouldn't have tried to build a wall, the cartel wouldn't have started doing that. Well, they was doing that anyway. They started doing that a long time ago. They just started finding out they could make more money. And they're doing bad things to people. And I just ask, if you believe in God and you believe I'm saying something wrong, take it to God. Tell God you want to see more violent crime. Tell God you want to see the cartel growing bigger and bigger and bigger. They're bigger than Walmart now, the cartel is. Tell God you want more babies killed. And tell God you want the country to be like Sodom and Gomorrah. And I'm not trying to come down like some kind of idiot or something. And I know a lot of people do not like Donald Trump. But let's be real. Yeah, he's not the kind of guy you'd want for a neighbor. But at least he don't stand there and stare off in space and wander off and people have to bring him back. Let's be real. Now, if the Democrat and Republicans more like what they used to be, that'd be different. But again, we're dealing with some serious issues now. Serious issues that are, to me, abortion is antichrist. Show me it's not. The whole gay marriage thing. Show me it's of God. It's not. It's antichrist. Argue all day long. It's because you don't want to give up sin. Now, back to free borders. Maybe that's the thing. But if you want free borders, you got to get rid of the cartel. That's all there is to it. Please, look these things up for yourself if you don't believe me. Number one, we need God, and we do need God to be. That's another thing. Who wants us to have more freedom of religion? Something to look up. Personally, I think the founding fathers didn't consider the Satanism and things like that when they wrote all this stuff. But we need to get back to God. But I guess my bottom line is, can you get on your knees and ask God what's right and which way to vote? Whether it be mad at me or not mad at me, I challenge you, take it to God seriously and say, God, if I'm wrong, show me. Because if you are not in line with God and you go the wrong way, that's not good. You'll be, I don't want to say it. I don't know how God's going to deal with it. Again, if you are somebody that you are gay, you have been gay, God loves you, but you cannot enter into heaven that way. There's not going to be a gay section. If you say you was born that way, get born again. You need to change. You need to be born again. Now, if you have had an abortion, God, you can be forgiven. But if you keep believing it's right, I don't see how you're going to make it. That's not a change. That's not a godly attitude. That's not a godly mind. That's not a godly nature to believe killing is okay. You will be helpers in that. So I guess that's all I got for today. I know I got into the political end of it, but every time there's election anymore, people are saying, oh, we're in the most serious election. Anytime it deals with that Supreme Court, yes, we are. it's been conservative. Which is conservative Christian? Nah, you can't say conservative equals Christian. You can't say liberally equals Christian. But if you look at the bottom lines, the conservative point is closer to being a Christian. They don't want to kill babies. Now, maybe there's some liars in there. Maybe there's some of them they're trying to change. And there are LGBT, whatever Q are conservative. That don't make them Christians, but it lines closer up to it. That's what I'm trying to say. I can't emphasize it enough. And I would love to sit and talk to somebody who has the opposing viewpoints and show me biblical principles where I would be wrong. I don't think it can happen. Do not be stubborn to vote for who you want just to be stubborn, because stubbornness is as witchcraft. That's there. I mean, I want our country to be free and strong and God-centered as much as possible, because I do not want to be like Sodom and Gomorrah. I'm not looking forward to being a third world country and living like that. Will God still take care of me? Good chances he will. But I don't want to have to listen to everybody complain that voted wrong, and then they have to deal with those circumstances and they're unhappy about it because they were so stubborn. Now, call me stubborn for the way I stand. You can, but still, I can back these up. I can back them up. I don't believe God. Again, one last time. I do not believe God wants the cartel to be strong. If you vote for the man of the Democratic Party and he does not want to fix the border crisis, and I'm not talking about fake stuff, I'm talking about really fix it. If you want to open it all the way, fine, get rid of the cartel first. But if you're going to have it, cut it off and vet people. If you don't want to change that, you're supporting cartel and you're supporting crime and murders and rapes and drugs. That's what you're supporting. Indirectly. Same way, unless the views change on the abortion, that's wrong. Global warming, you can just argue and argue and argue and argue. I mean, what can I say? Different people prove different things. But it did affect the inflation. Unless you like paying high prices, I mean, that's fine. If you like paying everything out and paying higher fuel costs. But anyway, I thought I'd do that. I hope to get back to more biblical teachings. But I just wanted to bring this out. Think about these things. Don't shut me up. Think about it. Look it up. Again, show me where abortion's right, supporting crime's right, supporting a gay lifestyle is right. Show me. Don't tell me just love. I mean, I've heard that a million times. Anyway, have a good day, and please take these things to God in prayer. Let him show you. Let him show you. I just wanted to bring these things out that I've been looking into and went, whoa, I didn't realize about the supporting the cartel. That cartel's bad. So have a nice day.